Right, g'day, welcome back to my channel again. I've just done this in a bit of a hurry, just seeing how much time I've got left to record here. It looks like I've got 44 minutes, which is more than enough because it won't go that far. It stops at 31 minutes. So today I want to talk about several more things that people hugely mistake all the time as proofs of what they think is a globe. The reason we don't feel any movement, for example, how good's that one? As you can see, I'm not drinking anymore, or any less. Holy shit, that one's gonna blow. I'll be right back. Told you I wouldn't be long. Oh, did he just say he doesn't belong? Oh, that's so cruel. Onwards. We must go far out. The things we do, hey? Right. It's not like all the other ones. Made a good pop. Oh, yeah. Oh, I did something right, that one. I think it's going to transform me into a doctor. Rightio, boys and girls, this is Professor Thatcher here with today's lesson on flat earth shit that you should know, because bloody hell, believe in all this globe-tarded nonsense. And I'm sorry for calling people globe-tards. I really must start with saying that word. I'm trying to stop it. And I'm really sorry that you are globe-tards. Hang on a second. Let me tidy myself up. It takes a while. Alright, so today we're going to discuss... Oh, where's my freaking pen, eh? Oh, God, that one hurts. This being 93 million miles away, and this being to Earth. Now, I know. It's hard to imagine. Because part of being a globe-tard means basically you've been indoctrinated with this idea that being on a ball, which is spherical, it's kind of hard to do here, but I'll do my best. There you go. It's a sphere, it's spherical. That there we think is just going around the sun, like a racing car going around a racetrack. Which reminds me, before I go any further, this thing that people always use for us being on the Earth. Yay. On it. Not falling around the sides or off the bottom, but on the Earth. Say, pardon me. Let me gather my thought again. The one I really want to get addressed first is the fly in the moving car. They say the reason we don't feel movement on the Earth is because we're like a fly inside a car. It's a constant speed, and the fly can fly around from here to there and not feel a thing. And they say that is how it is on the outside of a ball spinning through space at phenomenal speeds. It's, a racing car, top speed, let's say it goes 100. It's a round track. It's going 100 miles an hour. Let's just use that as a constant speed. It's going around a track. That's sort of what some people are thinking the Earth is doing to go around the sun, and it takes us a whole year to go once around the sun. Each one of these little spirals, however, represents the orbit of the Earth. Now, this is the thing that most people don't even get, and I'm jumping the gun already. So let me just have a beer. Do something sensible, Some living, breathing, gorgeous. Fluids of the gods. Right, now where were we? Far out. This one gives good head, eh? Back into the car. The fly in the car. Oh God, how do you draw a fly? Fly's eyes, fly wings. There's your fly flapping around, buzzing around inside the car as it's moving. It's inside the car. The enclosed car with windows and doors and all that shit. You chop the bloody roof and doors and all the windows off your car. That fly is not flying around inside your car going 100 miles an hour. Now, not only is it going 100 miles an hour around the track, so we can slow that right down. Each one of these representing 24 hours. But in the race car scenario, it's a little bit different. Maybe I'll just present it is as it is, how we understand it on the Earth. The sun being there means this place here, this place here, this place here, this place here, all these places all around. That's their 12 o'clock midday as they're facing the sun, going around. Now, regardless of it being a fixed speed and the position of the sun should be changing, we know it takes 24 hours each time to be facing back towards the sun again. When you're on this part of the Earth here, it's midnight, 12 a.m. You are now on this part of the trajectory from here at sunset. When you stop seeing the sun, you have started to speed up. Now the rate of spin of the Earth is 1,000 miles an hour, 1,040 miles an hour at the equator. The trajectory we go around the sun each day is 1.6 million miles. When we, oh cool, yeah, that's 1 degree. That's how we go around the sun, that's 1 day. That's how we get our seasons. 1 degree, 1.6 million miles. That actually means that we are travelling this direction at 66,600 miles per hour. Now we were just talking about a fly in a car going 100 miles an hour, and what would happen if we took the lid off the car, and the fly would just get blasted. Well, we're going 66,600 miles per hour around the sun as we're spinning around ourselves at 1,040. So you can see we're going some pretty phenomenal speeds right here. 1,040 this way, sunset here, sunrise here. This is where we start to see the sun over here. Midday here, sunset there. That means as we're going this direction at 66,600 miles per hour, spinning at this, from here around to here, we are accelerating in excess of 44 times the speed of sound to 88 times the speed of sound. Let's just write that in there. Mach 44, Mach 88. From sunset to sunrise. Oh, fucked if I know. I really am fucked if I know. There's some big speeds we're going. As we're going this way, compared to when we're going that way on the Earth, because remember we're going this way as well, so we're going backwards relative to the forward spin each day. So we're going forwards and backwards, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. 44 times the speed of sound. That's like nearly 40,000 miles an hour or something ridiculous. up to 80,000 miles an hour and back again. But that's just how we get a day. And there's 365.25 of these 12s to get back to where you started again and still be facing the sun at midday. And I do apologise, I do realise I was hiding my pen, which proves that I'm a true professor. Professor Nuts. This whole fucking topic drives me nuts, to be honest, and I've had a bit of enough of it. But people keep asking questions, so answers must be given. How does the sun set? Do you know what they call this? Wait for it, wait for it. It only just occurred to me yesterday. The set square. The sun, the set. Sunset. Over the set square. It's so obvious once you understand a little bit of perspective. Looking outwards. That's looking outwards, okay? You're looking up. This massive curve simply because you're on a flat earth and perspective lifts everything beneath your feet up to eye level, and it goes on this kind of curve. The higher you get, the further you can see. Eventually, everything will just disappear in the atmospheric haze, but generally speaking, you're so low down here that you only see a really tiny part of the plane you live on. 3 miles generally on average at sea level is your horizon. Fortunately on land there are many places you can go higher and see a lot further, but generally the average is 3-5 miles, and in many cases it's across the road where the bloody trees and houses cut off your field of view. That's your horizon. Eye level, the further away it is, the more average to the eye level it becomes. But it's the ground level rising up. Now, however you look at that, whether you think you're on a spinning ball, if you do, you must be a lunatic, but anyway, you do, so I understand. I used to think so too, so reformed lunatic here, coming full circle again. Even if you're on a ball or the flat plane, it's obvious that the higher you go, the further you will see. However, on the ball, I lost my train of thought. I'll be back. Okay, I've just gathered my thoughts for a second there. Had a swill of beer. I'm just going to go back to this again, because I think this is pretty much the only point I need to make in this particular video and stop getting lost on a tangent. We say we're like a fly inside a car, but as I say, on the outside of a ball, there is no windscreen. There's just the atmosphere, and spinning at such great speeds without protection. I don't know about you, but I find if you override a push bike without eye protection and you go over about 60 kilometres, I don't know what that is, maybe 40 miles or so, it starts to really sting your eyes. It's just 40 miles, not 1,040 miles. I mean, come on. So, we're basically saying, if we're going to compare this to the race car, if this is the track it goes around at 100 miles an hour, and it hits this corner and starts spinning out of control and shoots you out through the windscreen, it just sort of pops out, and as you're flying through the air, the bloody seatbelt grabs you around the foot and you're stuck there, and you're hanging over the bonnet, and the car's just spinning round and round, and it's spinning round and round, but still the wheel got locked and it's still going around the racetrack. You do have to use your imagination for this, because this is what they say a spinning ball in the vacuum of space does all by itself. So imagine the racetrack is doing this, and every time you spin around with your head outside the windscreen, as you come around here, because the car's moving this way, you're getting flung around twice as fast Whereas when the car starts going backwards again, even though it's still all constantly moving around here, you're going to feel the difference between going like 140 miles to 80 miles and getting swung around, and you'd be feeling this great force because where you're trapped around the car or wherever its pivot point is, you're sort of acting like a catapult type of thing. Eventually something's going to give and you will go flying off and you'll be hit for a six over the other side of the stadium. It'd be fucking awesome. So, don't go spinning around on balls, children. Don't believe in flies in cars representing reality when you're on the outside surface of a ball spinning 1,040 miles an hour, hurtling 66,000 miles per hour around the sun, while the sun is actually going 500 million miles an hour away from you. So you're actually banging it around the friggin' thing and just carrying the moon along for the ride. Why not? Just make it look as though it gently wafts around us at the same distance the whole time. That would work really nicely for our little globe project, because moons are really important and they can do what we can do and so much more. Oh, I love the moon. It really cares for us the way it just clings on at a constant distance as we're doing this. And all the other satellites, of course. How can we forget them? Let's have a little cheers to the satellites. Oh, I believe this warrants a drink. Welcome to the satellite hoax. That's a good song. Go look that up. So I think I've done all the drawings I need to do for today. If you caught on from yesterday's lesson, which was the day before yesterday, but it was still a day ending in Y. Why, I don't know, because tomorrow doesn't. But anyway, it speaks for itself. And I just want you to know that there are real, genuine scientists out there who are not any part of a globe Earth hoax. They're not pulling the wool over the eyes of us flat earthers. They're not deliberately conspiring with thousands of others who know we all live on a flat Earth, and they're all just keeping quiet about it and making sure we keep believing it's a globe. None of us actually think that at all. We think you're all actually pretty good, decent, intelligent people, and you do a great job. And we don't hold a grudge against you because you believe in things that, upon careful inspection, don't actually make any sense with experience, with reality, with stepping outside and looking around and saying, I live on a ball spinning 1,040 miles an hour, going around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour as the sun is shooting through space at 500,000 miles an hour. Or you just go out and look and say, look how beautiful and calm and still the world is, and look how the sun appears to gently go around us through the day, how the moon does its moony thing without ridiculously incredible speeds and performances and things that a moon, if you seriously thought about it after considering what we're doing, there's no moon on the globe Earth. It does not exist. It cannot exist. And any globe Earth believer who cares to prove me wrong as to how a moon can exist, considering the amazing feats that the Earth itself is doing at all these times, yet the moon stays a constant distance the whole time. Whether we're going fast that way, well, we're always going fast that way, so whether we're going fast and it's dragging it along, at our top speed of Mach 88, or when we're going Mach 40 or so, we don't have to drag it as fast as we have to push it. We have to push it Mach 88 to keep it in front of us as we're shooting that direction and it's on that side of us. How amazing is that moon to be able to do that? Considering gravity is what's supposed to be holding it in orbit. If we're shooting toward it at that speed, shouldn't the gravity say, yes, finally we win and collide together just like instantly? There's no repelling as you're falling around the Earth. I mean, if you fall, say you did yo-yo back, you'd be going this big friggin', this sort of symbol, bloody big yo-yo symbol, and that's probably where they get the stupid atomic symbol from, with their dots and shit, because they love that sort of satanic shit. That's not satanic, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what something falling in an orbit would do. But it still has to catch up as the Earth shoots along. Pew, pew, pew. 1.6 million miles a day. That is a lot of miles to cover. Just think about how far you can go on a day's journey. Yeah, you believe the Earth has gone 1.6 million miles around, across from here to here, while the sun is going 500,000 miles an hour away from us. That's a lot of distance to cover in one day. When this car, spinning out of control, going at 100 miles per hour, with you on the end of the seatbelt, would be flying around and around and around and feeling this really weird sense of slingshot effect as the car keeps sliding around in a circle. You know how crazy it is? The car would, of course, go out of control well before it, but I don't know, maybe the track is slanted just right so the car just keeps going around and around and around, like the Earth does around the sun. 365 spins in one track, in one circuit. You would feel the difference. Trust me. I'm a doctor. See ya.